Hi there, this is a video explanation about Columbus's motivation. So let's start by talking about the Renaissance, which is the time period in which Christopher Columbus lived. After the fall of the Roman Empire, things in Europe were pretty rough for a while. There weren't the same kinds of major cultural advancements throughout what we call the Middle Ages, or sometimes known as the Dark Ages. But in the 1300s, roughly, there was a rebirth across Europe. The term Renaissance literally means rebirth. And Europeans, beginning more in Italy and spreading further north, became really interested in learning about the achievements, the wonderful things that the Greek and Roman cultures had done thousands of years before. So they're really fascinated by these unbelievable creations around them, like you see on the right side of the screen here, the Sistine Chapel. So if you know of Michelangelo and Donatello, these incredible artists who made these wonderful things. And so during this time, Europeans began to see the world differently. So they had a much higher view of what humans are capable of. They saw themselves as intelligent and kind of the heirs of this amazing ancient tradition from the Greeks and the Romans. And so they led to new advances in technology and science, art, literature, and European culture started to change as a result. And so at this time, we have the birth of an individual known as Cristoforo Colombo. He was born in 1451 in the city of Genoa, which is now a part of Italy. He's most commonly known as Christopher Columbus in the United States today, and he grew up a sailor. So Genoa is right on the coast in the Mediterranean Sea, and so he would sail with crews up and down the African coast trading. But Christopher Columbus had a brilliant idea, which was that he could potentially find a shorter route to the spice markets of Asia. So he thought that the quickest way, or the possibly an easier way to get to Asia, would make him much wealthier. So if he could get to the types of things that were grown in Asia that Europeans really wanted to eat, to make food taste better, that if he could get there first, then he would be a very wealthy man. So he went around Europe pitching his ideas to different European leaders, and it was rejected multiple times. Not because anyone thought the world was flat, because they didn't, but they thought that the circumference of the earth, so the distance to travel around the earth, was much larger. And so they believed that Christopher Columbus would run out of supplies halfway across the ocean. And so they didn't want to fund his trip. So ultimately, as we'll see, he did find someone to fund his trip, and he died in 1506, just a couple of years after his fourth and final voyage across the Atlantic Ocean. So Christopher Columbus is the most famous of the explorers in this time period that's known as the Age of Exploration, that roughly overlaps the Renaissance. And there were a lot of reasons why Europeans started to explore. So there's a growth of cities, which means people are looking for more space. There's a higher demand for Asian goods, cinnamon, nutmeg, tea, really tasty things that people wanted. And new ship technology made navigation a lot safer, a lot easier, and a lot faster. But we can kind of boil these reasons for exploration down to 3 G's: gold, God, and glory. So gold refers to sometimes literal gold, trying to find gold, but also the desire to make money off of better trade routes, particularly to Asia. God relates to religion, so Christianity being the major religion in Europe at the time, many wanted to spread their Christian faith to new people that they might run into over the course of their explorations. And then glory, of course, individual or national fame. So to be the first to find a new place would kind of put your name in the history books, but also you could claim that land for the king or queen who had sponsored your voyages. So at the time in 1492, as we'll see, the map of the world that Europeans knew was essentially this. They knew pretty well the coast of Africa. They knew Europe pretty well. They had a general idea of where these Asian markets were, although they weren't exactly sure how far away necessarily they were. What they didn't know was this part right here. So what we know as North and South America, European explorers at the time did not know that it existed. And that's why we refer to that half of the globe as the New World and the other half as the Old World. So Christopher Columbus actually took part in 4 voyages across the Atlantic Ocean, and you can see in these different colors the locations of where he went. An important thing to keep in mind is that Columbus explored various islands in the Caribbean, places like the Bahamas, Cuba, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Jamaica, and a bit of Central America. So he did make it to Central and South America briefly, but he did not reach anywhere that we would call the United States of America today. So that's an important note, that he did reach the Americas, but he did not come to the United States of America. So in 1492, Christopher Columbus first discovered the New World. He had sailed for 36 days with his 3 ships, the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. They reached land in the Bahamas and sailed on to what's now Cuba and Haiti, or the Dominican Republic. But he thought at the time that he was in China or Japan. So based on his understanding of the globe, he thought he had reached Asia, even though he had just reached the Caribbean. He returned 3 other times, so he made 4 trips in total, established permanent settlements, and died believing that he had, in fact, reached those spice markets of Asia. So that sums up Christopher Columbus's voyages. Hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching.